Hello and welcome to World WWPC Championships. This is the top bracket first game of this best of 5 between Zoc and Zlo. Zoc is the current champion, Zlo is the challenger, EF versus Aeon. And there is a rumor that they actually did not choose the maps and let the ladder decide the map, something along those lines. Not 100% sure. But quickly as they begin, they are going to do the standard second air, try to get the transport, try to get as many islands as possible, and then it'll be a big naval battle. And my plan is not to cast all 5 or less games in this best of 5. I know Brian has already casted the second game, and I would encourage others to cast the others in the series. I will probably cast first 2 games in the World WWPC Championships finals in the different brackets, but I won't do all. And yeah, if you feel like casting the other ones, do it, and then link your video in the comments, and I'll try my best to put the link to the video in the description so you can see the following games. Alright, so how many PGens? That's the question. You see, Nomex is 7 PGens, and a whole bunch of PGens for Zoc. So more PGens, is that the way to go? That's the question, and I'll definitely speed this up. Roanoke has just casted a game on this map a little while ago, and I can't say that I really like this map. It'll turn into naval, although on this one it'll be interesting. Aeon versus UEF, which one is more powerful? Tech 3, I definitely would pick UEF with a longer range on the battleship plus the battle cruiser, but at Tech 2 I think it's going to be a bit tricky for Zlo. Tech 1, you could say that the frigate is a little better for UEF. You also have to think about the Riptide, but you've got the Blaze, and Tech 2 Flak, the floating Tech 2 Flak is quite powerful. And of course Auroras and Scouts. You can see very quick engineers out, much faster transports for Zlo. Scout coming out, a couple Inties, Scout, Inti Scout, and a transport. You can see a lot of build capacity assisting a lot more. Actually Zlo appears to have caught up on power, but Zlo a bit slower moving out. You can see he doesn't have these engineers moving in every single direction. And yeah, these interceptors, I think Zoc was hoping to find this transport, but it doesn't look like he will. And he will do the safe thing. He wants to throw away his inties. He'll place him right on this island to play defense against any kind of drops. Well, this scout has now spotted transport, but the inties are too far away. And yeah, early on, I gotta say, with that quicker drop, a couple more mass structures for Zlo, he does have a bit of an advantage, but we'll see how quickly all that gets erased. We already see Tech 2 mass structures coming up. First one about to be finished for Zoc, another one is also on its way. Zoc moving out with the ACU. The ACU for Zlo staying put. And now some bombers from Zoc. He's going to be trying to catch any of these engineers, though this engineer's already got a factory finished, so any of these bombs will not be that effective. And now an Aurora spam. And it'll be interesting to see what these players do with the... Oh, look at that. That's what Zlo is going to do, a pretty picture. Try to grab as many of these small islands as possible. If you have the APM for it, you might as well take it all. But in terms of teching, yeah, Tech 2 mass ejectors both. So both these players realize they gotta tech as hard as they can. And now we're seeing almost 7 minutes, still not a single naval factory. That is a bit unusual. But overall, gotta say, more aggression so far from Zoc, who's got a whole bunch of Tech 1 bombers, and he's got the floating Auroras. This is something that Zlo will have to first see, and then he will have to take care of it. Take care of him. Interesting mix, a couple AA and a couple Arty and a tank. He's got something for every occasion. Aurora is doing the first damage, although we also see a bunch of artillery here for Zlo. In terms of taking the Smile Islands, we're going to see maybe a bit of a battle. This factory is nearly complete. For Zoc decides to... Oh, he got that order in first. PD, so it's actually quite even in terms of who's going to grab Which mass extractor? So success for. Oh, that mass extractor is also in an upgrade. That's a lot of wasted mass once Zlo captures that mass extractor. So that transport that we saw on a mission doing pretty good things for Zlo. Coming up minute 9, we're seeing a lot of Tech 2 mass extractors now for Zoc. Also quite a bit of build capacity for Zlo building the Tech 1 Navy. And it will be interesting to see the mix. The Tech 1 Navy, if you use the frigate plus subs for Aeon, they're actually quite powerful, since the frigate does have a little bit of anti-torpedo. Which, yeah, and since the health on the Tech 1 subs is so low, denying a single torpedo, it does make a difference. Transport seems to have just wandered off in the wrong place. And what will come of that land factory that Zlo has built up? And, oh, a missed opportunity. Well, Zlo got the drop off, but wasn't paying attention. And perhaps a drop. As the Tech 2 mass extractors, actually no Tech 2 mass extractors here yet. And yeah, already Tech 2 Navy for Zlo. He's got a Tech 2 engineer. He'll make a Tech 2 power. We'll see how quickly he makes Tech 2 power. On maps where you got a tech and build, how quickly you get it power becomes fairly critical. Actually, that's probably critical at every single stage. And a Tech 2 PD, this is nice. Now we do see the HQ for land making riptides. A couple Tech 2 engineers. This is actually Sparky from Zlo. And Tech 2 PD definitely is a very good weapon against any kind of floating crap that might come into your base. As we're gonna see riptides from both ends for Zlo. So Tech 2 Navy, Tech 2 land, Tech 2 Navy also for Zoc, who's making the destroyer. And Zoc really going up ahead in terms of power. He's wasting a whole bunch, but he might be thinking about a very quick transition to resource allocation, maybe rush Tech 3 air. Otherwise, he's got a couple extra pigeons he might not need. Also, we can't forget about Swift Winds. Tech 2 Aeon is very good because of their speed on these larger maps. It makes a significant advantage over just interceptors. And YF always looks larger than it really is. It's just 2 frigates. It looks like an entire force coming in. You see the response from Zoc. He's retreating with a whole bunch. As we're seeing a bit of denial here from Zoc and the destroyer from Zlo. This a lot of firepower against surface vessels. So these frigates won't live unless Zlo decides to let them live. And you can see quite pathetic in terms of torpedoes. That's EAF. A Tech 2 transport. Not sure what that's bringing over, probably a Tech 2 engineer. As one remaining frigate, 3 kills, continues to be chased. And yeah, Swift Winds for Zoc. In terms of the tech game, Zoc slightly ahead still. Zlo a lot less power, definitely not wasting him, but a whole bunch of mass in the back. Bank, I think if he had a little more power, he could rush a Tech 3 mass extractor. He's actually going very fast Tech 3 naval, that's why he's got all that mass. He just finished his Tech 2 power, probably needs another one. And actually against Aeon, your Tech 2 pigeons are relatively safe because of the lack of the Tech 2 bomber. So this shield, it's nice to have, but maybe not as necessary as against other factions. As map control definitely quite even, and a cruise missile launcher loaded up with 1 missile. We already see TMD. Did I miss some action here? This got no kills yet, so I didn't miss too much. We do see a Tech 2 mass extractor for Zoc getting shot. Yeah, so that's an interesting move there from Zlo. At least denying a single Tech 2 mass extractor, and Tech 3 sonar now moving in for Zoc in the middle. Gunships for Zoc, and in this naval battle, I think Zoc's got Zlo outgunned. There's a single destroyer here, which as long as it micros, it can avoid a lot of these shots. But otherwise, especially when they get close, a lot of firepower from the Aeon destroyer. Yeah, I think this is a Tech 2 engineer here from Zoc that was transported in. As the teching continues, and it can dissipate some And this will be the fifth Tech 2 P-Gen. I do anticipate some Tech 3 mass ejectors here fairly soon as the first battle cruiser. So you can see how Zlo chose to forego the entire Tech 2 phase. He just built a couple destroyers. He continues to micro it, but it dies. He did lose quite a bit here on this island, but he's got a battle cruiser that's going to come in and save the day just in time. Although he will lose a couple Tech 2 mass ejectors. I do see dead mass ejectors here for Zoc, as we see 3 kills and is still a missile loaded up, but TMD going up from Zoc. On the other side, it's going to be the first sign of this battlecruiser. It will be interesting to see how Zoc will react. Not sure if he's already seen it. He does have scouts in the area. Well, I'm a little slower than Zoc, I guess. Here's Tech 3 Naval making a battleship. The battleship will outrange the battlecruiser. The battlecruiser are really specific for taking out destroyers and frigates against battleships. It's really not that good. And yeah, there goes PD, and the missile launcher is gone. This is where Swiftwinds will provide really superior air cover for Zoc and his gunships. And that is definitely a very powerful weapon, a cruiser from Zlo. That's definitely going to make these TMDs worthwhile maybe later on. Engineers leaving for Zoc. Where the heck are they going? They're probably going to start to make more navy. As the battleship is out, the battlecruiser is now in firing range of Zoc's island. And Zoc chose to have this battle here. He retreated behind his island, really far away. Not sure if that's probably intentional. So this battlecruiser will now go into a fight that it will easily win. It'll be a massacre, and then the battleship will come in. I'm not sure if that battleship will be able to hold its own against this many frigates. The Aeon battleship actually fairly vulnerable against frigates because of its very low fire rate. As we also see now some, not Coopers, but yeah, those are Coopers. And you know I'm going crazy if I get the name of Cooper. Yep, that was a very bad shot. A couple of very bad shots there from that battleship. It needs to focus on its main job, which is killing the enemy Tech 3 ships. Killing enemy Tech 2 ships and then bombarding deep into enemy territory. Shooting at frigates is really not what it should be doing. Has 15 kills on this cruiser. See quite a bit of damage here on the Zoc's left side. And overall, Zoc does have superior eco. I don't see any Tech 3 mass ejectors yet. He is getting resource allocation, however, which will allow him to get Tech 3 air, or will just allow him to recycle all the power that he has. But he is losing map control here. Zlo, absolutely no teching, it seems. Very low teching, even though he has got map control, but he is making gains now. As this battlecruiser is now under fire from the battleship. You see the battleship nearly double the health. And it's definitely a meatier target than a frigate, so it's easier to hit. Now frigates will move in, try to scare the battleship away to save. But what Zoc now has is a whole bunch of reclamation behind his island. He has lost a couple Tech 2 mass ejectors, but he still has a factory and engineer, so he'll be able to recover quickly. And this is definitely a huge factor for Zoc. That sonar in the middle, he knows exactly what's going on. Zlo, a bit limited in that regard. As Zlo now with Tech 3 ships, is he going to be making battleships? No, he continues to make battle cruisers. I'm not really sure if that's the right move. Maybe he's thinking, well, now he's got to deal with these submarines. That's why he's been making Coopers. These submarines, together with the battleship, a very nice combination from Zoc. This battleship can take care of any Tech 2, Tech 3, and these will easily take care of any frigates like they just did. They will be vulnerable against the torpedo bombers, but the Swiftwinds, if they're still alive somewhere, yep, here they are. Those will dispatch the torpedo bombers quite easily. As we see a very similar picture on the other side, a single battleship scaring away a massive force from Zlo. And yet another battlecruiser. I really think the EF battleship could do a pretty good job against these Aeon battleships. And then afterwards, it'd be a great weapon against anything. If you get in range of this factory, kill all this build capacity, and that's actually one thing we haven't seen. We haven't seen Tech 1 bombers, which are usually very potent here under these circumstances. Not a lot of build capacity at all for Zoc. Same for Zlo. Well, you can see for Zlo, it's understandable he can't afford it. Yeah, he's really been power limited this entire game. Zoc, meanwhile, finishing up his resource allocation. Once he gets that done, he's going to have a huge economy advantage. He already has a huge economy advantage. 17,000 reclaimed Zlo, 23. So Zlo a little bit ahead. And Zoc's torpedo submarine force here looking more and more menacing. You're going to need quite a few Coopers to kill it. Coopers have longer range than these subs and have a really good torpedo defense. So they should take care of these, but you need probably like 5 of them to take on that force. More battleships moving in. And so far, better eco and very even gameplay from Zoc. Actually, these battleships are very effective. There was that Tech 3 rush from Zlo really was stunted. As far as it got was behind this island, and then yeah, there's still a lot of reclamation left to be done for Zoc, who's now making Tech 3. And yeah, his economy is going to be over 300, so he can be making experimentals. And given he's got resource allocation, yeah, he's got Tech 3 Air, ASF. So in the tech department, he's way ahead. Zlo is still on a measly or meager 2.8k power. That's just his power. P-gens right there. He still doesn't have any resource allocation and has very little build capacity and mass. See the scouts now for him. We'll see how bad the situation is. Yeah, it doesn't look good for Zlo from this vantage point. From our vantage point, it probably looks even worse. As these battleships from Aeon, Zoc really shown these off as very potent weapons. So much respect being given. And yeah, this battlecruiser. This is like an Aurora versus a Striker. And yeah, it's going to be a very similar result, except these Auroras have more health than the Striker. So that's, you know, that's not going to end well. Especially if it just sits there. And I think Zlo is very close to going one game down unless he can pull something out of his head. But if he continues to make battlecruisers, they really did nothing except kill that first group of destroyers. After that, they did absolutely nothing. You can't shoot subs. They're actually not that good at shooting stuff on the land because they'll hit any small bump. And they have done absolutely nothing against Zoc's battleships. Coopers though. Coopers moving in. Definitely essential. And the thing about Coopers, they'll be extremely difficult to hit with these battleships. As a couple of Riptides making their way on the right side. So I guess in this game, relative to the last one I casted, was there are battles on 2 different fronts. However, these battles are a bit smaller than one between Mozart and Bladier. As the battlecruisers are moving in, but I think this is where the health differential will make a huge difference. Even when they get up close, they do have a lot of firepower, but and then yeah, the subs will add some more damage. This is it. However, Zlo has denied this island, but look, you can give up an island if you have 4 Tech 3 mass ejectors. That Zlo absolutely has not. Zoc's really making me think that Aeon is quite powerful. Maybe I should go back to Aeon. Because usually the Navy with Aeon is very annoying. It's Fluffy Tails. We should also be playing O1900. I think he was a champion for a while. Yep. Let's see, is Zlo planning anything? No, I think he's just rushed in. He's going to leave a lot of really big chunks of mass. Zoc could... Is that a... Oh, he continues to make battleships. Zoc could probably make a couple strats. If he just scouts Zlo, he can kill him right now. As actually Zlo pushing in through the middle, but you know, once you run into these battleships, it's going to be over. and grabbing this left island. Really not much of a consolation for everything else that's happened. Although now Zoc maybe a little disconnected in his forces. A lot of frigates. He should disappear quickly, although this battle cruiser should die shortly, and then there will be absolutely nothing that can do anything against this battleship. It should be primary. A battlecruiser, battleship, and a gunship. Yeah, air was very non-featured in this one, and Zoc did a good job of raiding battleship, taking out a whole bunch of mass extractors. As yeah, we do see cruisers though. Force low, anticipating a bomber, but yeah, Omen is a good unit, underrated. Yeah, we've all seen the light. Yeah, but the Tech 3 mass extractors, yeah. If you just have way more, I think you could probably do it with any battleship. If you have like twice as many against the battlecruiser, you're gonna win. Also, the use of subs from Zoc was nice. The Swift Winds provided good anti-air against the torpedo bombers. Yeah, and then yeah, Zlo had some success with Riptides, but that's about it. As he throws in the towel 33 minutes in. So as I mentioned, go ahead and cast the other games and let me know, and we'll put the links in the description, and you can find the link to the second game casted by Brang in the description. So see what happens.